Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Some of you may have heard me talk about how Robinhood lost people millions of dollars because they pitch stocks on trending and then people buy into them blindly. And yeah, after all, that's probably the user's fault, but we're not going to get into that because I already did a whole 2-part series on that. I'll link those down below. Instead, right now, we're going to talk about this house that I bought in Southern California with Robinhood. Yeah, I bought a house using Robinhood. We're going to explain all of this, but I figure first, why don't I talk to you about this house? This house hit the market at like 7:30 at night. I was supposed to have a pizza date with Lauren, and I'm like, Lauren, good deal hit the market. I gotta write an offer on this. I wanted to write an offer on this house without even seeing it so badly that I ended up printing out an old used contract because our realtor forms were down, whited it out, filled it in, sent this offer in so I could try to be first in line for this deal. Now, I was first in line for the deal. Not only that, I ended up inspecting the property at 6:30 in the morning, the very next morning, so that I could remove or shorten my inspection contingencies. And a lot happened in between. But let me show you the house, then I'll tell you what happened and how Robinhood got involved. Let's go in and I'll show you. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a 3D tour that I took of the property so you can kind of get a visualization of what the property looked like before. Hey everyone, Office Kevin here. So this is obviously the exterior. You've got the garage. This is the overview of the 3D scan of the property. I'll go ahead and show you the inside here. Let's walk in the front door. Look how dark it is. The old tile, that kind of old ceramic and weird textured, old kind of closed off floor plan, like the kitchen's hidden way back over here. Weird railing, weird wood paneling, old cabinets, old appliances. Those are like original 1978 cabinets. Why would they have doors for the dining room? Like, it's just odd, like really old 70s style, right? Carpeted rooms, this wood paneling over here, like everything just dated and kind of like, oh gosh, there's acoustic popcorn ceiling and then you've got a blue bathroom. Like what is this, right? This is old. This needs a Kevin to come in and give it some life again. Which, if you're curious how we do these 3D scans, these sort of virtual tours, click the link up here or I'll link it down below so you could do or see a video where I explain this technology exactly and how you can kind of create a side hustle out of it if you wanted to. Which, speaking of side hustle, have I mentioned yet that this video is sponsored by life insurance? You can get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes and get 2 completely free stocks with the stock trading platform Webull. Just sign up for Webull, deposit just $100 and you'll get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,400. And that way you could go around shopping as well on your phone before market hours, after market hours, and so on. I love Webull. Check it out. But anyway, I used that 3D tour that I had of this property, sent it to my guy, and said, hey, where these red lines are, let's blow those walls out of here. So you saw a little bit of the 3D tour. Now I'm gonna walk you through this property and then we'll talk Robinhood, but I wanna show you how fast things can happen in real estate. So here you go. Welcome to now a much more open floor plan. The floor is gone, we've got these walls gone. We actually had the floors removed, I think a day before. The sellers let us in a tiny little bit before, but this is how fast real estate can move. You gotta be ready to write an offer right away. You gotta be pre-approved. You gotta have your money ready to go. And you can actually start making progress on real estate really fast. Now, I wanna tell you about the numbers of this deal, and then let's tell you how Robinhood got involved. So, this property I bought for $559,000. The neighborhood's expected value for this as a potential flip is somewhere between $710,000 and $725,000. Now, I'll probably keep this as a rental. And rentals don't sell for as much money, so this will probably be worth somewhere around $700,000, maybe $690,000. In that case, if I put 40 grand into this property to fix it up, with holding costs and utilities while I fix it up and we do some basic work to the property, put a little island in, paint the cabinets, and all the other things that I talk about in my real estate investing course or my management course and rental renovations course. Anything that we talk about in there is what we'll do here. This will be easily worth $690,000 as a rental property, and I'll have generated around $90,000 worth of equity instantly, doing very little work thanks to finding this deal, having other people do the work, and then coming and making some videos out of it. Ugh, Lauren's always like, Kevin, why do you always wear your suit everywhere for real estate? Stop it. She's right. Oh, it's too hot. Anyway, so here's how Robinhood got involved. This deal, that morning when I did my inspection, I ended up losing the deal to a cash buyer. which that sucks because I don't, like, I usually pay 25% down for properties. And I had about 25 to maybe 40% down. So that way I had money to fix up the property and my down payment. I'd get a loan on it. The bank's gonna take most of the risk. I get a loan for like 4% interest, which is like free money, and I get to capture all the extra equity in the deal. If I wanna flip it, I can. If I wanna hold it forever, I can. If I wanna hold it for 5 years and flip it, I'm gonna make a lot of money on the deal. The big thing about this property is this is instant equity. I don't have to wait for cash flow to come in. It's instant tax-free equity that I can then use to go do other deals.
So you know the deal, you know the house, and you know the number. So by the way, that wall that was removed was a non-bearing wall, thanks to the truss framing in the house. So it was an easy decision to rip that wall out and open this up. We'll put a nice island in the middle, it'll be beautiful. I had a structural engineer involved as well. I love this guy. Casey, you rock. I don't think you're watching this, but you rock. Casey came out within 20 minutes of me calling him. Structural engineer dropped everything, came out within 20 minutes of me calling him. He's probably faster than the cops, and he's certainly faster than Congress. Not sure why either of those two things relate, but anyway, here's the thing. I didn't get this deal the first time around, and this is where Robinhood gets involved. I lost this deal to a cash buyer. I didn't have the cash to buy this property cash. I usually like to get 30-year fixed rate loans, so that way I can leverage my money in a relatively safe way. I'm protected by the value in these properties, and I'm getting these properties under market value. The listing agent called me and said they were having issues with the first buyer. The first buyer was complaining. I guess they were out of like San Diego or something. They were wanting repairs, and the agent called me and said, Kevin, we'll sell you the deal if you can match the price, $559, and pay cash. And I'm like, oh, okay. So here's how Robinhood gets involved, because I didn't have all the cash. Robinhood got involved like this. Well, first, it's helpful to know. Usually when you buy real estate, lenders count all of the debt you have. So like if you're gonna go buy real estate, usually lenders are like, hey, we wanna see what your car payment is and your other payments are on credit cards or loans and this, that, or whatever. Hopefully you don't have credit card payments, right? But anyway, they put all that together and they call that relative to your income a debt to income ratio. That's how they determine how much you can qualify for. But then I called my lender, I'm like, hey, if I hit up Robinhood for some cash, will that affect, or how will that affect my debt to income ratio? And I don't know, this might be, different for every lender, so check with your lender. But my lender said margin loans don't affect your debt to income ratio, which is good because I'm in the middle of an escrow on another deal. I don't wanna bomb another deal taking out money from Robinhood to buy this place. And this was mind-blowing. I mean, think about this. You borrow money on like a home equity line of credit, they count that against you. That's against your debt to income ratio. You take out money on a Robinhood margin loan, no problem, doesn't affect your debt to income. So I pulled up my Robinhood. In fact, let's pull it up together right now. I pulled up my Robinhood and I'm like, okay, let's see what options we have here, because I know that Robinhood has margin. I know that I can borrow money on Robinhood, but what good does that do me? Because usually when you buy stuff on, you borrow with margin on Robinhood, you're doing that to buy stocks, right? Like that doesn't do me much good. This is my Robinhood right now. And so you could see I've got, there's a market value of 932K. There's equity of 807K, and then margin used 125K, right? Well, the cool thing is you can pop on over to this little banking tab and look what it says. You can withdraw up to, or spend up to $244,000 of this account's value. I'm not sure what metric they use. You could withdraw that as cold, hard cash. I don't even have to buy stocks. I could literally transfer it to the little debit card, and then it'd probably take long, but I could withdraw it with their debit card over here. I just had it ACH transferred to my bank account. They let you transfer it over in like 50K increments. I think it's like 50K per day. And I'm like, this is cool. I don't have the cash to buy a house, but I can borrow against my stocks, not screw up my other deal that's going on because it's not going to affect my debt to income ratio, borrow against the stocks that I have. I'm not gonna go crazy margin here because I don't wanna lose money in case there's like a flash crash on the market or something like that. I don't wanna get a margin call, right? Anyway, took the money, sent it over to the escrow company and said, hey, I'll do the cash. Let's go. They go, all right, Kevin, here's the wire information. And boom, I closed that deal in like 7 days, 7 calendar days. It was a relatively fast deal. Which, honestly, what I don't understand is taking out a margin loan is riskier than taking out like a home equity line of credit. Or even heck, and this is bad, right? But like borrowing on a credit card. Taking out a margin loan means if your stocks fall below a certain percent, they could just sell your stocks. And the banks will use the debt on your credit cards and your home equity lines of credit against you, but they won't dare use your stock debt against you when you go to qualify for a home loan. That's shocking. I mean, think about it, like let that sink in for a second. Why is that? And ask yourself why that is. And I have a conclusion. It's because we're in America. We're in America where, I feel like I say this in almost every single video. The people who own real estate and own stocks or businesses get ahead and everybody gets left behind. The first-time home buyer who doesn't own a lot of stocks and is trying to get in, every little dollar that they have of debts, can't qualify. Oh, you got a lease on that car? Can't qualify. I got a loan on my car, but it's in an S corporation, so they don't look at it. They don't even see it. It's invisible to them. Margin debt, no problem. They don't even look at it. I don't know if the country's messed up or if it's great, but you gotta know these things. Now, obviously, I'm gonna fix this place up really quick. I'm gonna refinance it. And then after I refinance it, I'm gonna like pay off this margin stuff. Probably pay off this margin stuff sooner because I don't like having too much margin around. And Robinhood charges you like 5%. Like I'd rather use M1 Finance's margin where they charge you 2%, which is like dirt cheap. I think they're just trying to buy business. But anyway, this is amazing. I mean, think about the implications here. You could take out money against your stocks to buy real estate. So you could literally like invest in stocks, take out a little bit of margin. Like let's say, I don't know the metrics, right? But let's say you have 50 grand in stocks and maybe they let you take out 20 grand for the down payment of a house or whatever, and it doesn't affect your debt to income ratio. That's like, what? That should open up the doors for so many people to not have to sell stocks and be able to get into real estate. Now it's risky. Margin is risky because if the market falls, they might call you up and say, hey, you gotta cover some of the debt that you got here because the market's too low. So be aware of the risks with margin. I don't encourage using margin. I like this though as a temporary short-term thing. I mean, I'm gonna use this for maybe 30 days and then I'm done with it. But holy smokes, then I could go do it again if I wanted to. And again, you gotta be really careful with debt. Make sure you're getting really, really good deals. But I mean, I don't know about you, but like I'm still like mind blown. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you like this kind of content and these sorts of real money insights, not some kind of BS crap somebody can teach you in a textbook, then make sure to subscribe. Join me in the programs in the link down below where I put all of these kind of crazy money saving tips together for you. These courses pay for themselves. Check them out in the link down below. And folks, we will see you next time.